Interstate 49 is an interstate highway that exists in multiple segments, the original portion entirely within the state of Louisiana with an additional signed portion that was expanded from Louisiana, 3194 in Shreveport to the Arkansas state line, 4 newer sections in Arkansas, and a new section that opened in Missouri. Its southern terminus is in Lafayette, Louisiana, at Interstate 10 while its northern terminus is in Kansas City, Missouri at Interstate 435 and Interstate 470. Portions of the remaining roadway in Arkansas, Missouri, and Texas, which will link Kansas City with New Orleans, are in various stages of planning or construction. Route description =Louisiana =. The Louisiana segment of I-49 begins in Lafayette concurrent with US 167 from I-10 to Opelousas at exit 23. At Lafayette, motorists continuing southbound see the Interstate Highway change to US 90, a major thoroughfare taking travelers towards the heart of Lafayette. North of Lafayette, motorists on I-49 parallel the ancient Mississippi River bed north of Cancro, and through Grand Coteau, just south of Opelousas. After leaving Opelousas, I-49 traverses the relatively flat, fertile farmlands until reaching Alexandria. From there, the highway roughly follows the Red River and Louisiana Highway 1, bypassing the historic city of Natchitoches to the west on its way to Shreveport. At Shreveport, the highway parallels a railroad line just to the west until it junctions at I-20 southwest of downtown. At that point the route is discontinuous until a junction with Louisiana, 3194 northwest of Shreveport, where it then continues north into Arkansas. The heaviest traffic on I-49 occurs within the cities of Shreveport and Opelousas. The stretch of freeway in Shreveport sees an average of 70,000 vehicles per day, while the stretch of freeway between Lafayette and Cancro sees an average of 55,000 vehicles per day, and the stretch of freeway through Opelousas sees an average of 45,000 vehicles per day between the Judson Walsh Drive and Cresswell Lane exits. I-49 between LA1 and LA 3194 is now open to traffic. http://waps.dot.gov/info/aspx. Key =21. Arkansas and Texas =. The southern segment of I-49 enters Arkansas from Louisiana. It progresses northward to a temporary terminus at US 71 and US 59 at the Texas state line north of Texarkana. The northern segment of I-49 in Arkansas, formerly signed as part of I-540, begins at I-40 in Alma and runs north into the Boston Mountains. The freeway passes through steep, sparsely populated terrain before entering the Bobby Hopper Tunnel in Washington County. Entering the northwest Arkansas metropolitan area, I-49 has 6 exits for Fayetteville and 3 exits for Springdale before entering Benton County. The route serves as the boundary between Bentonville and Rogers, with 7 exits for the 2 cities before terminating at US 71. The roadway continues as a divided highway with stoplights into Bella Vista, although a bypass is under construction. I-49 is designated as the Boston Mountains Scenic Loop between Alma and Fayetteville. The I-49 designation replaced the I-540 designation through northwest Arkansas in March 2014. Missouri I-49 begins in Pineville. It passes through many smaller communities before reaching Joplin. In Joplin, I-49 junctions with I-44 and begins a short concurrency with I-44 for exits 11 through 18. Just a few miles east of Joplin, I-49 leaves I-44 and heads north and enters Carthage. I-49 then passes through Nevada and other communities before reaching the Kansas City area. I-49 intersects with I-435, which provides connection to I-35 and I-29. In South Kansas City, at Bannister Road just north of the Grandview Triangle, the I-49 designation ends, and the expressway continues as US 71, which proceeds into downtown Kansas City as Bruce R. Watkins Memorial Drive. History: the original plans for interstate highways in Louisiana only included Interstates 10 and 20 with no connection in between. After Interstate 55 was added in the 1950s, the state considered building a toll road to connect I-10 in southwestern Louisiana and I-20 in the northern part of the state, but later rejected the idea. In the mid-1970s, the Federal Highway Administration approved an interstate highway to run between I-10 and I-20, beginning at I-10 in Lafayette and ending at I-20 in Shreveport. The mileage was gained from mileage released from other highways the states did not build, as well as 153 miles from a supplemental reserve. Construction of I-49 began in the early 1980s, with the first signed segment from I-10 to Washington, Louisiana, opening in 1984. After several delays, most of the highway was open by the early 1990s. The entire length of the 212-mile road was completed May 1, 1996, when a 16.6-mile section of highway in Alexandria named the Martin Luther King Jr. Highway was completed. The total cost of I-49's construction was about $1.38 billion. Arkansas and Missouri have been pursuing an I-49 designation for US 71 and I-540 for a number of years. In the early 2000s, there were plans by both states to rename the roadway as such between Interstate 44 west of Joplin and Interstate 40 at Fort Smith, once new roadway had been completed around Bella Vista, Arkansas north to Pineville, Missouri. However, the AASHTO Special Committee on U.S. Route Numbers and Interstate Highways denied the I-49 designation at their annual meeting in September 2007 because none of the new roadway was under construction. During this time, there was also some debate as to whether the Interstate 29 designation should be extended farther south from its current terminus in Kansas City, to either Joplin or all the way to Fort Smith. A 180-mile stretch of US 71 from South Kansas City to Joplin officially became Interstate 49 at noon on December 12, 2012. The I-49 designation in Missouri became official at noon on December 12, 2012. The designation applies to 180 miles of current US 71 between I-435 in South Kansas City and Route H at Pineville, which was upgraded to interstate standards beginning in 2010. The last of the upgrade projects was completed in December 2012. I-49 also runs concurrently with I-44 between interchanges 11 and 18 east of Joplin. MoDOT began installing I-49 Trailblazer signage plus gantry signs and mile markers, about 1,200 signs in all, in February 2012. Signage bearing I-49 shields was covered or turned from view until the I-49 designation received final approval by FHWA. This includes mile markers at 0.2-mile intervals along the entire alignment apart from I-44. The US 71 upgrade involved removing all at-grade intersections and constructing interchanges and overpasses at 15 sites between Harrisonville and Lamar. The two-year project represented a shift in funding priorities for MoDOT, which in 2007, announced indefinite postponement of its portion of the Bella Vista Bypass project, citing a $139 million funding gap in Arkansas between construction costs and toll revenues, and Arkansas' commitment to only a two-lane bypass constructed over 6 years. MoDOT announced the Joplin to Kansas City upgrade of US 71 in August 2010. To be done with the intention of bringing the I-49 designation to Missouri. Most of the 10.2-mile corridor, constructed between 1990 and 2001, was built to interstate standards. However, 3 at-grade intersections at Gregory Boulevard, 59th Street and 55th Street prevent the I-49 designation from being extended all the way to downtown. All 3 of these intersections were on the Kansas City Police Department's 2010 list of top 20 crash sites in Kansas City, at number 9, number 6 and number 4 respectively, and Watkins Drive has the reputation among commuters as one of the city's most accident-prone stretches of road. Many neighborhood associations in Kansas City have historically objected to upgrading Watkins Drive to a freeway. MoDOT has gone on record stating a court order keeps them from removing the stoplights, making conversion of this stretch unlikely. As for any future upgrade, a MoDOT blog post says ample right-of-way was acquired to someday allow MoDOT to reconstruct the 3 signal-controlled, at-grade intersections to grade-separated interchanges, allowing traffic on Bruce or Watkins Drive to flow unimpeded. Neither MoDOT nor the City of Kansas City can initiate this change. It is up to the citizens, who must raise the issue again through the court system to amend the class action agreement. The I-49 designation carries through the three-trail crossing interchange to guide motorists onto US 71 north of I-435 and terminates north of I-435 and south of Bannister Road around the 190.0-mile marker. From this point north, US 71 follows Bruce R. Watkins Drive, a parkway which directly connects the I-70/I-670 interchange in downtown Kansas City, as well as the I-35/I-29 and I-70 interchange just to the north, to South Kansas City and I-435, I-470 and I-49. Interstate 49 North is a 36-mile construction project that will connect I-220 in Shreveport to the Arkansas state line. This project has been divided into 11 segments. Of the 11 segments, 10 are complete and 1 is under construction as of January 2015, and $460 million of $622 million needed to complete the project has been secured. An 18.9-mile section between State Route 1 and US 71 opened on November 27, 2013. The section to just south of the Arkansas state line opened in March 2014. The segment from Shreveport to the Arkansas state line was opened in early 2015. I-130, that was the former designation in 1999 to 2000, was removed and no longer exists on the part of the Texarkana Loop. Southern Arkansas segment equals. A temporary designation of Highway 549 has been assigned to I-49 between US 71 north of Texarkana and Doddridge, 5 miles from the state line. It is being constructed to complete the routing to the state line. Future I-49 segments extending northward from Texarkana, Arkansas, plus segments from Doddridge south into Louisiana are shown on the official Arkansas 2013 highway map. Future Southern Louisiana segment equals. State transportation officials in Louisiana are working on plans to extend Interstate 49 to the south and east, from Lafayette to New Orleans, roughly following the path of the current US 90, which is at present a 4-lane divided highway between the two cities. However, from Morgan City to near Ashland, US 90 is an interstate standard freeway, bypassing Houma to the north. In the Lafayette area, the problem is divided into two projects, the I-49 connector and the rest of the interstate from the Lafayette Regional Airport to LA 88. The I-49 connector has a record of decision and is formulating the environmental impact study. It is planned to be a 6-lane elevated freeway, passing to the west of the current Evange Line throughway corridor, as to be closer to the central business district in downtown Lafayette. The rest of the freeway from the airport to LA 88 will be an upgrade 6-lane freeway with a 2-mile segment of 8-lane elevated freeway through the suburb of Broussard. In the immediate New Orleans area, I-49 is planned to follow the route of the US 90 business through West Waco, Gretna and across the Crescent City connection into downtown New Orleans, ending at I-10. Future I-49 signage is visible along US 90 and US 90 business, although as of December 2014, construction had yet to begin. In addition to the southeastward extension, Louisiana officials are also working on clearing, grubbing and drainage for the new extension from Shreveport to the Arkansas line. The construction roughly parallels US 71 on the west northward from I-220. In Shreveport, a no-build proposal is to reroute I-49 along Louisiana 3132/Inner Loop Expressway and concurrent with I-220 from I-20 to its proposed alignment near US 71, which could make the existing I-49 between Louisiana 3132 and I-20 a spur of I-49. The other alternative is to connect I-49 at the I-20 interchange with I-49 north at the I-220 interchange. Central Arkansas segment equals. Update, Arkansas 549 opened between US 71 in Fort Smith, Arkansas Greenwood, Arkansas and AR-22 in Barling, Arkansas on July 15, 2015 at 10 a.m. at the AR-549 and AR-22 interchange. The 180-mile section between Texarkana and Fort Smith remains largely incomplete. Right-of-way has been acquired and engineering has been completed. but construction is contingent upon allocating funding to the corridor. After applying for and receiving assistance from the 2012 Transportation Investment Generating Economic Recovery Grant Program, AHTD has begun construction on a new highway location for I-49 between the current I-40/I-540 interchange and US 71 south of Fort Smith, bypassing Van Buren and Fort Smith. Work is underway between US 71 and Highway 22 near Fort Chaffee as the first and southernmost phase of the extension of I-49 south of I-540. The project is explicitly mentioned as an effort to complete I-49 in the Tiger grant application. Colloquially referred to as Chaffee Crossing, AHTD anticipates completion of this first phase in late 2014 or early 2015. Generally, I-49 is planned to follow the general route of US 71 through the state between Interstate 30 and Interstate 40. Northern Arkansas segment and Bella Vista bypass equals. North of I-40, Interstate 49 ends south of Bella Vista, about 8 miles south of the Missouri state line. Here, motorists continue north 15 miles of 4-lane US 71 with intersections, traffic signals, lower speed limits and congestion before the present northern segment of I-49 begins at Pineville, Missouri. Motorists are eager to see completion of the 19-mile Bella Vista bypass between Bella Vista, Arkansas and Pineville, Missouri. A major hurdle to construction of the bypass over the years has been funding. The 2010 Tiger grant application submitted by the Arkansas Highway and Transportation Department estimated total cost for completion in Arkansas as $291.8 million. The document states the portion of the bypass in Arkansas is proposed to be constructed as a toll facility, while the Missouri portion of the bypass will be constructed as a free route. On August 11, 2010, the U.S. Department of Transportation announced $10 million in Transportation Investment Generating Economic Recovery Grant funding to construct a portion of the new 4-lane bypass, though the funding covers only a 2-lane segment 2.5 miles long. Groundbreaking occurred on July 8, 2011 with a public ceremony that included Transportation Secretary Ray LaHood, Arkansas Governor Mike Beebe, and Senator Mark Pryor. The U.S. DOT news release refers to the project as part of the I-49 corridor, effectively ending questions about how the new highway would be numbered. The following year, the segment between Highway 72 North and County Road 34 was let. As of March 2014, AHTD anticipates completion of this first segment between Highway 72 North and Highway 72 South in spring 2014, and the next section in fall 2014. Following the passing of a 10-year half-cent sales tax measure in 2012, AHTD had acquired sufficient additional revenue to fund the southbound half of the Bella Vista bypass without tolls. Since design work had been completed prior to passing the measure, AHTD was able to let the segment between Highway 72 and US 71 be in February 2014 as the first job of the Connecting Arkansas program. AHTD anticipates completion of this project in 2016. The only Arkansas projects remaining for a fully operational 2-lane bypass are between County Road 34/Missouri State Line and a roundabout connector with US 71B. Both of these projects are listed as TBD by AHTD. Design work is complete for the roadway project, and is anticipated to be complete in 2015 for the interchange. Construction of the roadway is anticipated to be complete in 2017, assuming a 1-year delay related to Missouri funding. Construction on the interchange is tentatively scheduled to be complete in 2018. Missouri DOT is responsible for a segment between the Missouri state line and I-49, with no clear path to funding at present. The Bella Vista bypass is now on hold again because on August 5, 2014, an amendment bill intended to raise the sales tax failed at the ballot box. Not wanting to build an destination-less stub road, the Arkansas State Highway Commission officially postponed the construction of the segment between the Missouri state line and County Road 34 in September 2013 pending Missouri acquiring funding. Arkansas 549 between AR 72 and County Road 34 opened on August 22, 2015. Texas north of Texarkana. Interstate 49 will briefly venture into Texas for about 5 miles before turning northwest and crossing the Red River to re-enter Arkansas. How the mileposts and the exits will be numbered once the interstate returns to Arkansas have yet to be determined. Bella Vista Bypass in Missouri in 2012, Missouri still had $40 million available for construction of its portion of the Bella Vista Bypass from Pineville to the Arkansas state line. MoDOT's I-49 project manager said in an interview that, MoDOT has told Arkansas that whatever schedule it sets, we will meet them at the state line. However, once Arkansas began building toward the state line, it was revealed that Missouri was $25 million short of the necessary funds to complete their section. A ballot initiative was defeated in August 2014 in Missouri, meaning funds will not be forthcoming soon. Junction list: Louisiana, I-10/US 167 in Lafayette. I-49/US 167 travels concurrently to north-northeast of Opelousas. US 190 east of Opelousas, US 167 south-southeast of Lecompte, US 71/US 167 south-southeast of Alexandria. I-49/US 167 travels concurrently to Alexandria. US 71/US 165 in Alexandria, US 371 southwest of Coushatta, US 84 west-southwest of Grand Bayou, future I-69 in Shreveport, I-20 in Shreveport, Gap en route, Louisiana, US 71 north-northwest of Gilliam, Arkansas, US 71 south-southeast of Doddridge, US 71 south of Fouke, US 71 in Texarkana, US 82 in Texarkana, US 67 in Texarkana, I-30 in Texarkana, Texas, US 59/US 71 north of Texarkana, Gap en route, Arkansas, Gap en route, US 71 in Fort Smith, Gap en route, I-40/US 71 in Alma, US 71 in Fayetteville. The highways travel concurrently to Bentonville. US 62 in Fayetteville. The highways travel concurrently to Bentonville. US 412 in Springdale, Gap en route, Arkansas, no major intersections, Missouri, US 71 south of Pineville. The highways travel concurrently to Kansas City. US 60 in Neosho, I-44 south-southwest of Dwag. The highways travel concurrently to Fidelity. US 160 in Lamar, US 54 in Nevada, I-435/I-470/US 50/US 71 in Kansas City. See also, Arkansas Portal, Louisiana Portal, Missouri Portal, U.S. Roads Portal. References. External links. Interstate Guide, I-49, I-49 Energy Corridor, I-49 North, I-49 Report, Interstate49.org, I-49 Inner City Connector Shreveport, I-49 Inner City Connector Map, I-49 Connector, Future I-49 South Pictures, Future I-49 South Pictures, Arkansas Highway and Transportation Department Bella Vista Bypass.